So in this digital world, we connect online through smartphones, but have we actually lost touch of the real essence of business is connecting with humans and making our lives better, and that great human interaction and that great thing called customer service? Is it overrated? Is it still valuable in 2007? We're going to talk about that today, because these days we're in a world where you provide a bad experience, there's bad reviews, you lose business, and you may not be connecting with customers. Now that's the stuff you hear about, but what about the stuff you don't hear about? What about the customers that went to your website or heard something and just went away? So we're going to explain today, going to get some real world examples of some of the things that different genders find annoying about customer service, and we're going to bring that back to some great tips on how you and ourselves can provide a better service experience in 2017. Okay, Luke, so what do you think businesses get wrong in service these days?
I think really simply it's communication, something that's lacking quite a bit, and transparency. Example I can give something to me recently was getting someone out to look at our flooring, and basically on their website it talks a lot about a free quote, and when they got there, not only did they measure things incorrectly and try and essentially overquote us, is that those things had changed once they got into our house, and then suddenly this free quote wasn't available anymore. So for mine, it's simply about being transparent and telling your customers what they're going to get and what they're paying for.
Good one. Really ambiguous, the old call out fee, when do you pay, etc. I think a major disconnect. Good one. Rochelle?
My pet hate is probably retail, going into retail stores. Love shopping, but hate the experience of going into the store these days. I think just walking in, someone coming straight up to you and trying to pitch a sale or tell you, do you want to try something on, and you haven't even said hi, you haven't even made that connection. Straight away it turns me off. I want to leave.
Wow. Okay, good one. I'm sure most women can relate to that.
I think it's quite common.
So Brett, what do young blokes want these days in service? Well, what are the pet hates?
The pet hates for me is just the way that you represent yourself and your company. I think you can say the exact same words in a good tone of voice and with better body language, and it comes across a lot better than someone who looks miserable and they're looking at their watch ready to clock off.
Do you reckon that applies to text, email as well? The same? Do you think that can also reflect, or is it just more normal voice communication?
I think tone can be conveyed really well in emails and in text messages. Any sort of communication, you don't want to be curt. You want to be polite and courteous the whole time.
Any bad examples?
Never send a one-word text message. That's just, you learn that with girlfriends as well.
I think we can all relate to when you calling somebody in a call centre or something and they just can't really be bothered speaking with you, and you get passed around from department to department. So I think it's really important in customer service that someone's really accountable and they take the time to really understand the issues you're having and then work with you to come to a resolution.
So when most people think about service, they relate service to complaints or negative experiences, but what we want to do is really explore what we think are some great tips you can use to delight customers more often. Now, what do you think, Luke?
Once again, really simply just honesty and transparency. If you can explain to people, to your customers or to your clients, if you have resourcing issues or if something's going to take a bit longer, if it's a bit of a unique circumstance or something like that, then if they're across that and they know you're working your best in the background to get that done, then they're usually happy to accommodate that.
I think people are okay with seeing that maybe you don't know everything, maybe you don't have all the answers. By saying that and sharing that, and also being honest and creative with how you could actually grow and improve and make their experience better, is an important.
Every one of their customers is individual and has different needs, and if they can tailor their service around, what's going to best suit their needs, they'll find that their customer retention and happiness has gone up a lot.
Are you prepared to pay extra for good service? Let's get down to the nuts and bolts. Luke?
For mine, absolutely. I'd be prepared to pay 10 to 15% more for something. If I've spoken to this person, they've got me to a point where I'm ready to buy something, and they've given me the information that I need, then I'd be more than happy to pay a bit extra for that and extra for the product.
Service, to me is kind of, the product is indifferent. The service is what matters. You come out, you're happy, you're excited, or definitely want to pay someone for that. You know, they made my day that little bit better.
How much? 10, 15, 20?
Yeah, maybe 10%, 20%, depends on the product.
It all seems so obvious, but the reason why there's a lot of frustration is in this internet world, it's a boundaryless business. We're getting customers from all different situations and different parts of Australia that we've ever had before. And absolutely, as a business owner, it is a trade-off. It's a trade-off between your time and how much you're prepared to pay. And sometimes, if you don't have consistency and you don't have clarity in where you sit, of course there's going to be a disconnect where there's going to be that. So I think the real takeaway is one, yes, invest in service, but also be really comfortable with where you start and where you stop.